Carl Jung made a prophecy about humanity. He said humanity is sleepwalking toward its own destruction. He wrote this in 1957, 67 years ago. No one listened. They called him paranoid, obsessed, out of touch. But now, in 2026, everything he prophesied is coming true, exactly the way he described it. And the scariest part, he did not just predict what would happen. He predicted what it would do to the human mind and how most people would not even notice until it is too late. Carl Jung's prophecy is not about war. It is not about climate. It is not about politics. It is about something far more dangerous, something happening inside your mind right now, something you cannot see, but it is controlling you, and Jung saw it coming before anyone else did. So what did Carl Jung prophesy, and why is it coming true right now? Let me show you.
Jung prophesied one thing that terrified him more than anything else. He called it mass psychosis, and he said, when the collective loses its connection to the individual mind, humanity begins to sleepwalk, and no one notices, because everyone around them is doing the same thing. This is not about mental illness. This is not about being crazy. This is about something far more subtle, far more dangerous. Mass psychosis is when an entire society stops thinking for itself and starts believing whatever it is told without questioning, without doubting, without using its own mind. Jung discovered this by studying history. He looked at civilizations that collapsed, not because of war, not because of famine, but because the collective mind lost its way. People stopped being individuals and became the crowd. And the crowd does not think, it feels, it reacts, it follows. And whoever controls what the crowd feels controls everything. Jung wrote, "The danger is not from outside, the danger is from within." When people stop trusting their own mind and start trusting the collective, they become vulnerable to anything. Think about this. When was the last time you formed an opinion without being influenced by someone else, without social media, without news, without what your friends think, without what society expects you to believe? When was the last time you thought for yourself, truly, completely, on your own? Jung said, most people have never done this. They think they are thinking, but they are not. They are repeating what they have been told to think. And this is exactly what Jung prophesied, that by the 2020s, humanity would lose its ability to think independently, not because people are stupid, but because the system would make independent thinking feel dangerous, feel uncomfortable, feel wrong, and people would choose the safety of the crowd over the discomfort of truth. And Jung warned, when that happens, humanity is lost, not physically, but psychologically. The individual mind is the only defense against collective madness, and if it disappears, everything collapses from within.
Jung did not just prophesy that this would happen. He described exactly how it would happen, step by step. And every single step is happening right now. In 2026, sign 1. People stop questioning. They hear something, and instead of asking, is this true? They ask, does everyone else believe this? Because if everyone believes it, it must be true, right? Wrong. Jung said the crowd is not wise, it is not informed,
It is not conscious, it is simply loud, and loudness is not truth. Sign 2. People become afraid of having their own opinion. If you think differently, you are labeled dangerous, threatening, and so people stay silent. They hide what they actually think, and they perform whatever belief is safest. Jung called this psychological surrender, the moment when the individual gives up their mind to the collective. Sign 3. People lose the ability to sit with discomfort. If something challenges their belief, they do not investigate, they react emotionally, instantly, without thinking. Jung said, "When a society cannot tolerate disagreement, it has already lost its mind, because truth is uncomfortable, and if comfort is more important than truth, the collective is asleep." Sign 4. People stop trusting themselves. They do not trust their own instincts, their own feelings, their own observations. Instead, they look outside, to experts, to media, to social media, to tell them what to think, what to feel, what to believe. Jung wrote, "This is the most dangerous sign. When the individual no longer trusts itself, it becomes completely dependent on external authority. And external authority does not care about your truth, it cares about control." And sign 5, the most terrifying. People start attacking anyone who thinks differently. Not with logic, not with evidence, but with anger, with labels, with fear. Jung said, when the crowd turns on the individual, it is not because the individual is wrong, it is because the individual is threatening the collective sleep, and the crowd will do anything to protect that sleep. Look around you, right now, in 2026. Do you see these signs? Because Jung prophesied all of them 67 years ago. And he warned, if humanity does not wake up, the collective psychosis will consume everything, not in one moment, but slowly, quietly, until people look around and realize they have not thought for themselves in years. This is not the future anymore. This is now. And the question is, are you still asleep, or are you ready to wake up? Jung said something that most people are not ready to hear. He said, the individual is the only hope for humanity. But the individual is disappearing, and no one notices because it is disappearing from the inside. This is not about being a rebel. This is not about being different for the sake of being different. This is about something far deeper. Jung discovered that every human being has their own unique consciousness, their own unique perspective, their own unique truth. And this uniqueness is not optional. It is necessary for both you and for humanity. Because when individuals think independently, they catch mistakes. They see what others miss. They challenge what is wrong. They protect what is true. But when individuals stop thinking, when they surrender to the crowd, no one catches the mistakes anymore. No one sees what is wrong, and the collective moves forward blindly into destruction. Jung wrote, "Society does not want the individual to think, because a thinking individual is unpredictable, uncomfortable, dangerous to the system. So the system teaches you to distrust yourself from childhood." Think about this. From the very beginning of your life, you were taught to fit in, to agree,
to not stand out, to follow the rules, to think like everyone else. And if you questioned, you were punished or ignored or made to feel like something was wrong with you. Jung said, "This is not education, this is conditioning. The system does not want you to think, it wants you to obey. And obedience feels safe, so you choose it, without even realizing you are choosing it." And here is what Jung prophesied. By the time humanity realizes that independent thinking has disappeared, it will be too late. Because once the individual mind surrenders completely, it does not come back easily. It takes work, painful work, to remember how to think for yourself, to trust your own mind again, after years, decades of being told that your mind is not enough, that you need others to think for you, that questioning is dangerous. Jung said, "The greatest crisis humanity will face is not external, it is internal. The crisis of the individual mind. The moment when people forget they were born to think, born to question, born to see truth, not believe it. And that crisis is not coming, it is here, right now, in 2026. And most people do not even see it, because they stopped looking a long time ago." So here is the uncomfortable question. Are you affected right now? Is your mind under the influence of collective psychosis? Most people would say, "No, not me. I think for myself." But Jung warned, the first sign of mass psychosis is believing you are not part of it. The crowd never thinks it is the crowd. It always thinks it is thinking independently. So let me ask you something. When was the last time you formed an opinion that made people uncomfortable? Not to be rebellious, but because it was true, and truth was not what people wanted to hear. If you cannot remember, that is a sign. When was the last time you questioned something that everyone around you accepted? Not out of stubbornness, but out of genuine curiosity. Is this actually true, or am I just believing it because everyone else does? If that question feels uncomfortable, that is a sign. Jung wrote, "The unconscious mind absorbs everything the collective feeds it, without permission, without awareness. You do not choose what you believe. It is chosen for you, by the environment, by the media, by the people around you, and you think it is your own opinion." Here is how to test yourself. Think of something you believe strongly, something you would defend, something that feels obviously true. Now ask, where did this belief come from? Did you arrive at it yourself, through research, through experience, through deep thinking? Or did you hear it and it just felt right, because it was repeated so many times it became automatic?
Jung said, "Most beliefs are not beliefs at all. They are infections, passed from person to person through repetition, through emotion, through fear. And the person carrying them thinks they are thinking, but they are not. They are simply repeating. And here is what is happening to your mind right now, without you knowing it. Every single day you are exposed to information, thousands of messages telling you what to think, what to feel, what to believe, what is right, what is wrong, and your mind absorbs all of it automatically, without filtering, without questioning, without even noticing. Jung prophesied this. He said, the human mind was not designed to receive this much information. When it does, it stops processing, it stops thinking, and it simply accepts whatever comes first, whatever is loudest, whatever feels safest. And that is exactly what is happening in 2026 to almost everyone, including you. The question is, will you keep sleeping, or will you finally wake up? So how do you protect yourself? How do you wake up from a sleep you did not even know you were in? Jung discovered something powerful, something simple, but most people are too afraid to do it. He said, the only way to protect your mind is to turn inward, because the collective cannot reach you if you know yourself, truly, deeply. The moment you know who you are, no one can tell you who you should be. Step 1. Stop consuming. Not forever, but temporarily. Jung said, you cannot hear your own mind in the noise. The noise is designed to keep you from hearing yourself, because a person who hears themselves is dangerous to the system. So stop for 1 hour a day. No social media, no news, no opinions from others, just silence, and listen to what your own mind says, without influence, without external input, just you and your own thoughts. Jung said, this is where individuation begins, in the silence, where no one can reach you, and you finally start to hear what you actually think. Step 2. Question everything. Not with anger, not with rebellion, but with curiosity. When you hear something, ask yourself, why do I believe this? Who told me this? Have I verified this myself? Or did I just accept it? Jung wrote, questioning is not disrespect. It is the most important skill a human being can develop. Because without questioning, you are not thinking, you are following. And following is how the crowd controls you. Step 3. Trust yourself. This is the hardest one, because the system spent your entire life teaching you not to trust yourself. But Jung said, your instincts know the truth before your mind does. When something feels wrong, it is wrong, even if everyone else says it is right. Your inner knowing is older than any system, any media, any collective opinion. Start listening to it. When something feels off, do not ignore it. Do not rationalize it away. Pay attention. Step 4. Sit with discomfort. Jung said, truth is uncomfortable, always. If something feels easy to believe, question it, because the crowd always chooses comfort, and comfort is where the deepest lies hide. If an idea challenges you, do not run from it. Sit with it, explore it, let it disturb you, because on the other side of that discomfort is clarity, real clarity, not the clarity the crowd gives you, but your own. And step 5, the most important. Jung said, the individual who knows itself cannot be controlled, cannot be manipulated, cannot be put to sleep, because it is already awake. And once you are awake, you cannot go back. So start the inner work now, not tomorrow, not next week, now. Because Jung prophesied that the window of awakening is closing, and the longer you wait, the harder it becomes to remember who you actually are,
beneath the crowd, beneath the noise, beneath everything you were told to believe. The real you is still there, waiting to finally be heard.
So here is what Carl Jung prophesied 67 years ago. He saw it coming, all of it. The collective sleep, the disappearance of independent thinking, the crowd controlling the individual mind, the slow, silent destruction of humanity from within, not through war, not through disaster, but through psychological surrender. And he warned, humanity is sleepwalking towards its own destruction. No one listened. But now, in 2026, his prophecy is coming true, exactly as he described, and most people do not even see it, because they are part of it, asleep inside the crowd, thinking they are thinking, but only repeating. Jung spent his entire life trying to wake people up through his work, through his teachings, through his warnings, and his final message was not about death, it was not about the self, it was about this moment right now, when humanity stands at the edge of losing itself completely, and the only ones who will survive, psychologically, are the ones who wake up now, before it is too late. Jung said, the most dangerous thing in the world is not a weapon, it is a mind that has stopped thinking, because a weapon destroys the body, but a sleeping mind destroys the soul. And that is what is happening right now to almost everyone, but not to you, not anymore, because you are here, listening, and that means something in you is still awake, still questioning, still searching. And Jung would say that is enough, that is the beginning, because awakening does not happen all at once. It starts with one moment, one decision, the decision to stop following and start thinking, the decision to stop believing and start knowing, the decision to turn inward and meet yourself for the first time. Jung prophesied the darkness, but he also prophesied the light.
He said, even in the deepest collective psychosis, there will be individuals who remain awake, who refuse to surrender, who protect the flame of independent thought, and those individuals will be the ones who save humanity, not through action, but through awareness. That is you, if you choose it, right now. This moment. The crowd is sleeping, but you have a choice. Stay asleep or wake up and protect your mind, your truth, your consciousness. Jung's prophecy does not have to be your destiny, but only if you are willing to think for yourself, starting now. If this video woke something up inside you, something that was sleeping, subscribe to SYC Soul, because this journey has only just begun. Hit the like button if you felt something shift while watching this. Share this video with someone you know who is still asleep, because they need to hear this, maybe more than you did. And leave one word in the comments. Awake, thinking, rising, seeing, refusing, whatever feels true. Your word matters because it marks the moment when you stopped following the crowd and started walking toward your own truth. This is SYC Soul. Jung prophesied the darkness, but he also left the light. And now it is in your hands. Will you protect it, or will you let it go and fall back to sleep? The choice is yours, and it starts now.